Good evening, GPG group. It's good to be here. This is Kathy Robbins, Diamond. We just got back from Expo, and it was a really interesting trip because, you think of all of the days of the year and all of the years, and Hurricane Matthew chose that weekend to come through. So I'm going to tell you a little story because it's kind of interesting how Jeunesse works. They had planned a diamond dinner for Thursday night at their new offices. They have a lake there. They had drained the lake. They had built a platform. The fountain was going to come up in the middle of a temporary structure. They had the meal. They had the alcohol. They had all of the stuff that went with it. They had entertainment. Somebody said they had fireworks. I don't know. All I know is somebody told me it was $1 million project. But of course, the hurricane was coming. And Orlando declared a curfew. Oh, you couldn't have done it anyway because it was pouring down rain. A curfew at 7 o'clock that evening. So all of it had to be disassembled. That was out. So the next day was Friday, and it was a full day for the expo, but the curfew went from 7 p.m. on Thursday to 7 a.m. on Friday. So all of us who got in before that 7 p.m. Thursday curfew, we were all stuck in hotels. They wouldn't let you leave the hotels because there was a curfew. Luckily, it ended at 4 o'clock, I think, on Friday. So at that time then, Paula and I had our car, so we went and picked up Judy and Ian. We went to a fabulous Indian restaurant, got to spend some time with them, went back to our hotel. Friday and Saturday were packed full because you had all the stuff from Friday evening that had to fit in. They just canceled all the breakout sessions that were going to be there Friday. Unbelievable event. Unbelievable. Great speakers, great product announcements. I'm sure you've all seen or heard about the new product, Mind. We talked to our sapphires today, and they were sharing some of the stories about, how it clears a foggy mind, how it makes you be able to focus because we got so much information coming in. So, and Erin's sending out a newsletter today, and there's a little video that's going to be on it. So be sure you watch for that in your mail. But it's it was a great day. And then Saturday evening, they had a director's dinner. So this was for everybody the directors are actually rubies and above, but they included the sapphire elites. It was spectacular. It was in a Hilton ballroom. It was, beautiful food. At some levels, you had free drinks. They had entertainment. They had everything that you could possibly want because they really do treat the people that work hard and achieve the leadership levels. They treat them very well. And then Sunday, we started early. It went all day Sunday. And then, interestingly, we were supposed to be off on Sunday night, but Jeunesse decided that it just wasn't fair to have an expo and not have a diamond dinner. So how Wendy did it, I have no idea. But there's a restaurant. I don't know if it's in every city. I know it's in Tampa and it's in Orlando. It's a very expensive restaurant that is known for its seafood called Eddie V's, and Jeunesse bought out the restaurant. Took all the diamonds there. We had dinner, free drinks, free order. I mean, it was they're just really good people. And so for those of you that missed it, hopefully next year you'll be able to make it. And I'm going to share with you in just a minute how next year is going to be. It's not going to be an international convention anymore. It's just going to be a area by area convention. But I also want to talk to you about the packs. They have, as they always do, event packs. They have a $500, $1,000, and a $2,000. They're available until October 31st. What those packs have, depending on the size, some of the brand new product, which, as we understand it, and I know they're working hard to change this, but potentially we may not have that product available in the United States until December. So, if you can, even if it's just a smaller pack, now that could change. So I don't want, if it shows up earlier, for you to be angry with me. They're just working on some things that they're hoping they can get it in quicker, but right now we're probably looking at December. And with the travel packs, as you should be aware, if I buy a travel pack, which I did, I bought a travel pack, the CV goes upline, just like your auto ship does, so I don't get that. But I do get a bonus credit, and that bonus credit allows me to buy product at a lesser, buy product free. So let's say I get a $200 bonus credit, then I can use that for my auto ships coming up or whatever I want to use it for. So that's a good deal. And you get travel points for the upcoming promo, which they announced, and I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. So it's something to think about, those packs, because it does provide you with a new product. And the new product comes in packs just like Reserve. Just like Reserve. So what it means is you have the little packs to hand out to people. So you could get a whole group involved, whether the product's there or not, because you'll have some to share. So something to think about. And they're in your back office under shop, under event packs. For those of you that do that, there's also a prepaid auto ship with some of them, which means you're actually paying for some of your auto ships, so you're getting that deal also. And those start this month. So that's an important thing to think about, especially if you're someone who is on the Youth Enhancement Pack, which will get you travel points, because you won't get that for this month or next month if you've got 2 months of prepay, which you'll lose those points. Power of Two. For those of you that are Power of Two winners, we congratulated you. We're so thrilled. We have the call this Thursday at 2 o'clock. If you did not get the link, you need to send an email to Erin, and Erin will put her email address on the chat section under a couple of other things we've put up, which I'll explain to you in a minute. So globalpartnersgroup@icloud.com. So if you go there, you can send her your email address and she'll be sure you get that link. And you might want to check with people in your team that aren't on the call tonight. There's also a special call beginning tonight at 10 o'clock. And it is Mark McDonald. And Ian talked to him when we were in Orlando. And he's going to put together an 8-week program, which I am definitely going to watch, because you know what happens to a lot of companies that have product, weight loss products, is they wait until the end of December or early January to start promoting their product. The problem with that is most people start thinking about it beforehand. And they're going to start it in January, but they might have already decided how they're going to do it. So one of the things that they're going to talk about is how do you use Zen to get customers, but also how do you use it to build your business and get business builders. So I think it's going to be a really good series of calls, and I know that we're going to be on it, and I really encourage you. And Erin has posted the information on that, although now I don't see it, so I don't know. But if you haven't, Erin, you need to post that again. It's on Facebook. If you go to the Jeanette's Facebook page or on the Zen Project Dave page, they will have all the information there for the call right at shortly after this one, about an hour after this one ends. And then I also want to talk to you about there's a couple of changes, and I want to share these with you. There's a new compliance module. You all do your compliance training. Well, there's a new compliance module. You don't have to do it, but I would recommend that you do. And there's some changes coming up, and I just want to be sure that that you're reading the emails, that you understand that beginning November 1st in the United States, if you're from Canada, you should listen, because as most things, it's probably coming your way soon. But for those of you in the United States, it's coming November 1st. So you know how right now, for me to keep my points and for me to be paid, I have to do 60 CV in my number. Okay, so that would be me or retail customers, so who buy on my website, which for a lot of people that doesn't happen. So and the company is working with a legal firm on compliance, because for those of you that are new to this industry, network marketing is kind of a funny industry. We go through periods where nobody bothers us, and then every now and then some company does something stupid and they get in a little bit of trouble, and it kind of spreads, and all of a sudden everybody's being looked at. So this company is proactive. They're thinking, okay, we watched a company or two get in some trouble. Oh, we don't want to go down that road. So they hired this really good law firm that deals with regulators. And they have gone through everything. And they have reevaluated things, and they're making some changes. And they're starting with the United States because obviously it's a US company. So what they want us to do is, beginning November 1st, you can still continue to do your 60 CV, and it will protect your points, but it will not get you a check. In order to get your check, what you have to do is you have to have 100 CV that comes from a minimum of 2 customers. So one customer does 60 CV, one does 40 CV. But it has to come from 2 separate and total 100 CV. Now, this is what's really good. Number one, a few weeks ago, you would have noticed a change if you've been to your sponsorship page under reports that shows people who used to say Pearl, whatever, that they had these titles. Now, many of them say wholesale customers. Wholesale customers are people who have been in the business for 90 days and have done, or any 90-day period. They have not earned a commission, they have not sponsored anyone, and they have not gotten a customer. They revert to what's called a wholesale customer. Now, let's say they decide to sponsor somebody. All they have to do is go into their main office, right where it says you've completed the compliance training. Just below that, it'll say if you want to resume distributor activity, click here. That's all they have to do. It's not a big deal. But in the meantime, they count as wholesale customers for you. So these 2 customers can be wholesale customers, retail customers, or preferred customers. And if you do not quite understand this, I have put in sorry, I had a momentary blank there. I put in the chat thing 4 emails from Janess that I think you ought to read. And the one is the qualification changes, which is what is about that's what we're talking about now. One talks about the new North American training module available, which I've also mentioned. The next one talks about policy updates. And this is really interesting because I've been in this industry a long time with a lot of companies. They've changed some of the policies and procedures. And you know how most network marketing companies change them? They change them and they don't tell you. And the minute you cash a check, that is your approval of the policies and procedures. That's how it works. But Janess doesn't do that. Janess sends a form, an email, and they're telling you section and paragraph what's been changed. Now that is really good. It says they're not out to, catch anybody. They want to be sure you understand. They're very transparent. And you should really read that. And then I just happened to see one that says bonus credits, everything you need to know. Well, if you're getting an expo pack, you're going to get a bonus credit. And now you've got it and you think, well, what do I do with it? This will tell you how to use it. So those are emails that you should read. And then if you don't understand it, if you have any questions about it, what you want to do is contact your upline Sapphire or above. They should know the answers. And of course, if you really are lost and you really can't find anybody to help you, if you email Erin, she can get them to one of us to answer your questions for you. But it's important that you understand these things so that you don't miss out on anything. So if you're like us, we're going to continue our auto ship and we'll make sure we have our 2 customers and everything will be great. But for the Canadians, you've got some time. You can start to work on that and, get yourself in order so that you can be ready when it comes to your way. So that takes care of our new compliance module, a little bit of changes that we have. Here's another thing. If you didn't see the email and you used the Discover card, Janessa is no longer taking Discover cards. So if that's an issue for you, you might want to go into your auto ship and change that because they are no longer taking that. They have a tour coming up. If you missed the convention or the expo, they're going to be on a tour. Now, this is the tour, and I'm going to tell you where the cities are, but you need to find this on their website. It's on the site, but they're going to be in Hartford, Connecticut, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Puerto Rico, Miami, Florida, Anaheim, California, Toronto, Ontario, Montreal, Quebec, Orlando, Florida, Salt Lake City, Utah, Seattle, Washington, Vancouver, BC, Calgary, Alberta, Dallas, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, Las Vegas, Nevada, Little Rock, Arkansas, and Minneapolis. So, and it begins October 20th and they end November 14th. So they are going to be on the road unbelievably in the next few weeks. So if you want to see kind of what happened, get a feel for it, get some of the information, be sure you can attend one of those. Let me tell you the other thing that thing's good for. Let's say you're building a business and you look at that list. And we did this with our first company because in our first company, they had regional events every Saturday in 6 to 10 cities. So in a quarterly magazine, they would send us where they were going to be for the next 90 days. And we'd look at it and think, okay, where do we have people? Where do we know people? Where would we like to go? Maybe that's where we ought to try to find people. And we used that as a way to build our business because we had a meeting coming up with corporate people there, which would help. So it is important that you kind of take a look at that and see if there's anything that you can, you can get some help from out of that. Then also I want you to know that November 16th here in Orlando, they're going to have another Discover Janessa. If you meet somebody, let's say you meet a corporate person who's looking to get out of it, interested in our business, if they're making more than $8,000 a month in their corporate business or in a network marketing business, the company will fly them in at no charge, put them up for the night, take them to Discover Janessa. So if that happens, you want to get with your upline and they'll get to us or to Judy and Ian or to Sandy or Carrie or Dino or Malcolm or Tibor or anybody. There's a whole group of people that can help you do that. But what's really nice about that is it brings them into the new company office. It allows them to meet with some of the corporate people. So for people that you're looking at, you want to think about that. But they do have that income amount that they have to have made, and they have to be able to prove that. So it's going to take a 1099. They're going to have to show that. But still a great deal. So that's coming up November 16th. Judy Murray's talking about being there. Paula and I will not be there. Carrie will not be there because we will be on a plane to Berlin for the Berlin University. Okay, dates. I want to share some dates with you. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the next big event for North America is February 10th to 12th. In Las Vegas. It will be our lead event, which has to do with leadership. It's something that if you can get there, it's an excellent event. It's a training event. You'll learn a lot. I believe they're going to be introducing another new product, one that has been discussed, I think, among some of the members of our team. It is an instantaneous change in how you look. I had the opportunity of having someone use it on me, and it is just, I can't wait. I thought it was going to be in November. I was a little disappointed. I cannot wait. So that will happen in lead. Expo next year is not going to be international. There will be 5 different expos. There will be one for Asia Pacific, there'll be one for Europe, there'll be one for the United States, there'll be one for North America, there'll be one for Latin America, and then there will be one for Greater China. So ours for North America will be November 2nd through 5th. November 2nd through 5th in Orlando. For those of you with people elsewhere, Asia Pacific is in Bangkok, September 14th to 17th. The European Expo is October 13th to 15th in Milan, Italy. I'm going to go to that one. I really want to. We've got a good European group, and Milan is a gorgeous city. October 27th to 29th, Latin America is Sao Paulo, Brazil, and then Greater China is in Macau. We don't have a date for that yet. Then we have the expo, the promo trips. Last year we went on a Mediterranean cruise. Year before we went to Cancun. Well, they're all going to be separate. So now what we're going to have is, for example, Greater China is going to Germany, and the Asia Pacific, including Australia and New Zealand, will be going to Budapest and Prague. The Europeans are coming to Cancun. On May 14th to May 19th, North America, or the Americas, North and South America, are going to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Now, for a lot of people, that's like high on their bucket list. But last year, the Asia Pacific went there. So Kim McIsaac, one of the rubies in the GPG group, who now lives in Australia, was formerly from Canada, went to Dubai. And she told us it was spectacular. They take you out in Range Rovers over the dunes of the desert. I think you get to ride camels. It's one of the most beautiful cities, they say, anywhere in the world. That's going to be a great trip. And the requirements are now in your back office under distributor reports, reports, distributor reports. Last thing on the bottom. It says the Dubai trip. And I want to talk to you about how you do this. And I want to tell you, the contest period goes from October 1st to February, at the end of February, February 28th. So that gives you October, November, December, January, February, 5 months. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you how most people lose the trip. Okay? They don't do anything in October. They do a little in November. They take December off. And then January and February, they're trying to do everything. Okay, it doesn't work. So what you need to do is this: 5 months. We divide the requirements by 5, and we set monthly goals. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you are single. You don't currently have a significant other. You're looking to just go on this trip. And you are going to do it with travel points. Okay, so if you're going to do it with travel points, then here's what happens. If the travel points, and for those of you that, I'm assuming most of you know how this works, but I'm just going to tell you really quickly. And I'm using on the travel points themselves, I'm using the Mediterranean. So if there's a slight adjustment, I want you to know that, I don't have the one for this time. In an ambassador package, you get 25 points. For a jumbo package, you get 15 points. For the basic package, you get 5 points. So if you introduce somebody with those packages, you get the travel points. You also get some points for Create a Pack. You usually get something for having the youth enhancement package. You get 10 points if you get it. And if you get 5 points for everybody front line that gets it. So you can accumulate points that way. I mean, let's think, if you get 10 points and you're on the youth enhancement package every month, that's 50 points right there. Then if some of your people are on it, then you accumulate more points. So now, whether or not that's on this one, I don't know. That's how it's worked in the past. And so I'm trying to give you kind of an example. It's essentially based on bringing in new people. As customers, even if they come in with a basic pack, they're only a wholesale customer, not a problem. You still get the points. So if you're all by yourself, you're just going to try to win for yourself. You can win the full trip for one person plus a $500 airfare voucher for 500 travel points. So what would that mean? 100 travel points a month. Figure it out. It's, if you'd have to put a lot more basic packs in than ambassador packs. Maybe you do a combination, but that's what it takes to hit for a full trip for one person. Now you can win the trip for 400 points. And you can win a $250 voucher for $450 and a $500 for $500. Now, obviously, if you're taking 2 people, it's a little bit more. So let's take the best of the best. You get full trip for 2 and a $2,000 voucher, air voucher, which will get you there. That's 1,100 points. So that's 1,100 points. What is that? 220 maybe a month that you would have to do. So that's one way to earn. The second way to earn is cycles. And so this is for sapphires and below. So you could you can add up your cycles. So you can get as much as everybody has to have 100 travel points. No matter what you do, you always have to have 100. But you can get the full trip with 450 cycles over a 5-month period, or you can get a full trip for 2 people, 2,000 for 850, and there's a little bit in there's all ranks and all spots in between. So what you want to do is you want to go to your back office and look at this and say, okay, what is my minimum? I have to get this, but here's where I'd really like to be. And set your goal for where you'd really like to be. And by doing that, maybe even if you miss it, you'll get where you have to be, if that makes sense. And so this is really important. Now, for those people who are rubies and above, they have to maintain their rank for all 5 months. If we miss a month, we're out of luck. And even if you're, let's say I'm a diamond, I stay at I do 4 months at diamond, 1 month at emerald. Oop, no good. I don't get to go. So, but the best thing is, the best way to win this trip is to go ruby. Because if you go ruby, you get the trip for 2 people and $1,000 in a promo. Actually, I think you get, $500 in airfare. So there's a lot of things here that you can do, and you can kind of strategize. And what my biggest thing is don't procrastinate. Don't wait until the last minute. Because, there are times when I think, gee, it would be nicer if it was just closer to home. It wasn't as much points. It wasn't this. But on the other hand, they're trying to give us trips that we would never probably take on our own. Like the last one, the Mediterranean cruise. The percentage of people out of North America that ever have the opportunity to go on a Mediterranean cruise is very small. And North Americans going to Dubai, it's very small because it's an expensive trip. So these people are willing to pay for all of that if we do this. And I told our Sapphire group today, I won't tell you the words I used, but I said, a lot of you sit there and you think I can't be a ruby, but that is just, I said something. But to you, I'll say that's just nonsense because it's not true. It's 5 months. I believe what you believe you can do, you can do. I believe what you don't believe you can do, you'll never do. So you've got to do this. You know what I would do? I would get pictures of people in Dubai. I'd get pictures of the city. I'd get all of that. If I could turn this big monitor around and show you right across from my desk is a vision board. And it's really interesting because I was looking at it the other day and I was thinking, oh, shoot, I got to change that. Because there are two things up there that I have now. Now, I didn't really focus on getting them, like writing them down. I didn't do it. All I do is every day I'm looking at it. So my backyard looks like this backyard. And my stove is that one with the red knobs. So for me, it works. But I know that you have to keep it utmost in your mind and you have to believe you can do this. And I'm telling you, you can. If you do it every day, you don't have to make 25 calls a day. Make a promise to yourself. I will do 2 calls a day. I will talk to 2 people a day. I will somehow communicate with people, even if it's online, but I will do something every single day to move my business forward. And look at the trip and decide, what do you want? do you want to join us in Dubai? Because I can guarantee you, I want to be there. And I know a lot of other people do too. So I hope that I've given you some ideas. I hope that we get to see you at LEAD in February. We're looking forward to seeing North America there. If I got any Europeans listening, I hope I'm going to see you in Berlin, because I'm looking forward to that. So you have a great week. And next week, you will be listening to the great Judy Murray and Ian Murray, who will be doing this call. So anyway, have a great week. Bye-bye.